I'm with Arjun Bhatia. Arjun Bhatia is well-known name in a. He's quite well trader in options, in the currency, in the commodities market. Then there is a Tanmay Kurkoti. Tanmay is the founder of Quant Capital. I am Alok Chaturvedi, derivative head of Paytm Money. Then I am with Peter Cutino. Peter is a product manager in Paytm Money who is managing their algo business, their API business and all. Then Shankha Mukherjee is a trading expert in and heading our edtech business. He's doing a training from quite long time, almost more than a decade now, right? So, first of all, thanks a lot, all of you guys, to joining. Since it's a festival season, I really thanks all of you to join in such situation, right? And thanks to our listener also. So we can start. Obviously, Shankha, you can start now for the discussion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alok, for the
Thanks, buddy.
introduction. Happy Diwali to all the listeners today. All of you, I hope you had a lovely Diwali this year compared to last year. And along with that, I hope you all played well in Muhurat trade, buying your Shagun stocks. So today we are hovering very close to 18,000 Nifty. We made a high of around 18,600 a few days back. So, Tanmay, the question is to you, which I'm shooting the first question to you. How do you see Nifty from here? Where do you see Nifty from here, Tanmay?
Good evening, Sanka. Good evening, everyone, and happy Diwali to everyone, to all the listeners who have joined in. Uh, wish them a very happy, prosperous, and healthy Diwali, and hope next year we would not see 18,000 but 36,000 levels for next Diwali. And wish
Okay, so
everyone
it's a clear indication.
Yes, Tanmay. Like going back to our question, like around 18,000, an
yes,
amazing year run up this year.
yeah, it has been a phenomenal year, and we are up by more than 50% Diwali to Diwali. And such kind of rallies have been rare in markets, but we have seen years where we have seen 50% more rallies coming in. But going ahead, so at 18,000, what to look for? Are we going for 26,000, 30,000 by next Diwali, or are we going back to the levels where we started? So personally, I feel that this bull run has not yet finished its last leg, and we are surely in its last leg, but this can go a way lot higher. So
Okay.
coming to that, from 18,000, should you be bullish or start liquidating your positions is a tricky question to answer. But my uh, opinion would be simple. So if you have received a lot of reward on your positions, start protecting those positions going ahead. So if you see, ride the rally as it is going, but you should have stop losses in mind. So if the market reverses, you should be able to cut down your positions and stay away from the market if it is getting into a sluggish mode. But having said that, the thing is, as traders, as humans, we are greedy. So what happens is more often than not, we have decided to get out of the market when the market crashes, but emotions take over and we stick to those positions, and that is the biggest mistake a trader has been doing in his entire career. So what I would recommend is now as derivatives have penetrated the system, the trading space a lot, everybody has started to understand how the products are being traded. There are ways wherein you can protect your losses. So if we are at 18,000, as the market is rallying, I would recommend our users to start hedging their positions by probably buying some puts, buying spreads on a long dated options. So what happens is when the market crashes, you are not panic. First of all, you have those protections in place, and if any sudden COVID like situation comes up, personally I feel that that was a one time in a decade event. These events don't usually recur on a continuous basis. So what we saw was something different. What we are going to see in the future is going to be different. Uh, Being prepared for such events is the only thing as traders we can do. So, getting your tail risk protected is something you should absolutely do when we have seen such a phenomenal performance in the market. And getting out of the market wouldn't be advisable because if the rally continues for another Diwali or so, and we see probably 30,000 levels on those next Diwali, then you would it would really hurt that we didn't participate in the overall performance. So yes, I am bullish, Sankha, but I would advise listeners to be cautious and take positions in such a way that they have their protections if the market reverses.
That's really a word of caution. Uh, Arjun, what's your take?
So hi everyone, hi to every each and every of the listeners, and thank you so much Paytm Money team for giving me an opportunity to speak here. So basically, my take on this is very similar to like Tanmay side. So what I feel is the way India is outperforming the foreign indexes like Dow and the ways banks are performing because basically banks are the backbone of any economy. What I feel. So the way India markets are performing, the way COVID cases are almost nil now. So what I feel the future of Indian markets is very great. So what we can do to protect our capital or protect our investment is as simple as that. Use trailing stop losses. If you are trailing your stop losses, if even if market crashes, I'm here. I'm using the word if. Even if market crashes, our trailing stop losses are at place. Our trailing stop loss will get hit, and we would be out of markets with good profits if we have trailed in a good way. So I am personally bullish, and what I feel, I cannot give any targets. We will be at 50,000 or we will be at 1 lakh in Nifty, but I really feel that we are already outperforming, and we will be outperforming the foreign indexes for the next 1, 2, 3 years because the companies and the other then the other national matters are being uh, very well addressed by our Prime Minister and under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we are obviously going to give a very good example to the foreign countries. And I am very bullish personally. And what I feel that simple use trailing stop losses for all your investment, and that is the only way we can tackle.
Great, Arjun, great. But one thing for sure, I mean, speaking to you and Tanmay, both of you are very bullish. Though somewhere we are putting a trailing stop loss strategy is very nice. But for long term, definitely what both of you see Nifty will come up with newer highs, reaching newer highs. Great, great.
So, Sankha,
But
the
we should be
entire
always cautious because when yeah, that's what you said, right? Both of you, like, be cautious, try to protect
Yes,
money. That's important.
yes, very important.
Sankha, with the global liquidity getting pumped up day over day, so what we saw day before yesterday in Fed was a thing wherein such kind of events are not going to squeeze out liquidity of the market. The Indian markets have just started seeing the liquidity rush. Probably we should have seen probably 5, 6 years back, and this decade is going to be different. Now the Indian investor, Indian traders have learned a lot, have understood finance, have understood the savings mechanism, and that is a way wherein a lot of money is coming into domestic market. The way the mutual fund industry has evolved has drastically changed the way people have been seeing investments, capital markets throughout their life. Uh, the amount of flows, what we are seeing month over month, has been increasing a lot, and you can see it in the primary market as well. So, congratulations first of all to Paytm for like finally every investor is going to get an opportunity to invest in such a great company. So congratulations on that. Having said that, the amount of liquidity that has been seen in the primary market, it's getting crazier every day. So last so this week, if you see the short-term papers, if you see that, you would see that the liquidity has been around 4 to 5 lakh crores. That is almost 2.5% of our GDP. So such kind of liquidity rush is coming into primary markets. This kind of money is chasing stocks. So it is very difficult for investors as well as traders to find good ideas and sticking to it. Money is getting in and getting out as fast as we are speaking. So being on the edge, being on catching those opportunities and sticking to those bets is going to work in a long term rather than getting out on a short term basis. So, yes, the outlook is 100% bullish, but at the same time, this liquidity is ral- uh, helping the rally to continue. But this, if the drain comes on liquidity, similar way we are going to see the market behave. So being cautious is also advised and using. So this event we are doing is for Samay Pe Charcha, and derivative is one instrument where you can use those positions to hedge your underlying equity positions and you can create a stable portfolio. So that is what is required. I think Arjun.
So, Arjun, how? So, sorry, sorry. Please
Yeah,
continue.
I think Arjunji, what would you say on this? So,
Uh,
Sorry, Tanmay. Please continue. Please continue.
yeah, I was asking Arjun also. So, he had a
So
similar
please.
view on this. So, just putting a stop loss in place, wherein if your stop loss gets hit and you get out of the rally, or you protect it with long dated options and just stay in the rally as the market is going.
Yeah, so my view are very similar to Tanmay. So basically, what I feel is today the investors or the traders are getting good education. What I'm feeling right now is that people are learning how to hedge. If we talk about 3 4 years back or 5 years back, no one was knowing what is hedging or how to hedge their long term positions. But now, since there are many platforms like Paytm Money, or we are having so much education around, that people are really learning how to hedge their positions, how to manage their risks. So what I feel, today investors and traders are very smart if we compare with the traders and investors that were 5 7 years ago. So today, why the investors are very smart? Because they know how to hedge. More, not everyone knows, but majority of investors nowadays knows how to hedge the positions, how to deploy strategies. Like right now, if we have Twitter, or if you open YouTube, there are lots of education that is available. Like we can easily access them, and we can easily learn how to hedge. And secondly, what I feel is like I told you, I am bullish on Bank Nifty and Nifty, both of the indexes. So people do not see that we are already up 10,000, around 10,000 points in Nifty from the lows of 8,000 that we had during COVID times. And Bank Nifty had seen a low of 16,000. So we are already 25, 26,000 points up. So this was a crazy bull run already, and I am expecting such bull run, not very immediately. I'm not saying that in the next 6 months we will touch 50,000 in Bank Nifty, not like that. But obviously we will be going up. A little pullbacks are also very important. Like if we see the last 10 12 sessions, so we had seen a correction of 1,000 points. So here, a majority of the traders, they get a fear that now the markets will go back to 7,000 or 6,000. No, it's not like that. Markets cannot stand vertical and go up and up. It has to give a pause, or it has to give a small pullback before going up to the next level.
So, what would be your strategy right now?
Okay.
What kind of strategies do you think would work?
Okay, so nowadays, what? what type of markets we are facing nowadays is that markets are usually either markets are very wild during the day or market consolidate. Basically, right now we are having more of a dangerous days where in the first half an hour where in the first half we either consolidate and then after we give a breakout. So my favorite strategies which I love during these markets are the open range breakouts, where generally what we do, like suppose we took a time frame, like we took a timing of 1 hour, and we just play on the breakouts of the high of that 1 hour and low of that. Either we trade on the breakouts of that 1 hour or on the breakdowns of that 1 hour. So open range breakouts are one of the best performing setups which I personally use. And second, I also do some systematic trading where I use indicators like the super trends and pivots.
Arjun, we lost. Arjun,
Arjun, we
Arjun, we
lost you
lost you
in
for some
between. If you
reason.
can just
Oh,
repeat.
I'm very sorry. I'll just repeat it for you.
Yes, thank you.
So basically, right now, what the markets are doing, markets are generally for the first half an hour or 2 hours, markets are consolidating, and then we are getting wild moves after that. Majority of the days are like this. So my favorite strategies during such kind of markets are the ORB strategies. The full form of ORB is open range breakout, where different people have different rules. So where basically what we do, we see the bank nifty or the nifty range for those starting 1 hour or 1.5 hour, whatever is your rule, and then either we trade on the breakout of that range or breakdown of that range. So this is one of the best strategy which I am using right now. And the second strategy which can be good. Which can be a good setup in these type of markets are basically my system indicator trading. So basically, where I use strength indicators like super trend and pivots. So where basically the motive of both ORB and my system trading is to catch the breakouts and breakdowns on the right time. So basically, this is the markets where you can, if you are good at catching the breakouts and breakdowns, either via price action or via indicators, so you can easily survive in such tough markets.
Great, great. Arjun, do you trail it up or it's like you close these positions in intraday?
Okay, so I've just not shared what type of trader I am. So basically, I am a purely intraday trader. I rarely trade positional. So 90% of my positions are in Bank Nifty. So I am purely intraday. So all these positions are on intraday basis only. And yes, I trail very aggressively. So the people who knew me, who know me from Twitter, they must be knowing that how aggressively I trail the stop losses. So basically, all my positions are intraday only. And yes, I'm a type of trader who trail their stop losses. So that because my basic objective, and I would like to share to all the listeners that basic objectives are in intraday trading should be the minimization of losses. Because if you keep minimizing your losses, one day, second day, or one day will come where you will definitely earn good profits. But the first objective of any intraday trader should be to minimize losses. Now, because if losses will minimize, profits will automatically follow. So this is my way to trade.
Very true, Arjun. Very true. How about you, Tanmay? What would you suggest our listeners today?
So for listeners, I would say we are on the 18,000 topic. So coming back to the same topic, Nifty has rallied a lot. What happens as option traders or derivative traders is that we have some strategies which we have been doing for quite a while now. And those strategies are either spreads or doing ratios and those kind of things. But what has happened is now the base has changed, so we are sitting at 18,000. A 0.5% move is almost 100 points. Now, a 100-point move is something which, or a half percent move is something what we see on a daily basis. That is the volatility we are in currently. So for that, the strategies what people are doing for level at 10,000, they were doing at Nifty when Nifty was there at 10,000, 12,000 last year, or before that. The same strategies won't work. What people need traders need to understand is that what you should look for is when you are trading options is what kind of relative percentage premium you are either buying or selling while entering into those trades. So, as the Nifty rallies, the strikes are going to be the same. It is going to be a 50 width strike at every point. So, if you are at ATM and your strategy would have been ATM plus two strikes you are selling or buying or anything like that, that two strike width is going to remain the same. But what happens is, as the base increases, the overall volatility in the market is increasing and the options are getting priced similarly. So if you stick to those strategies, then that hurt. As a trader, what I would recommend traders is that start using relative things rather than using absolute numbers or absolute strategies in place. So as a trader, we are stuck with preconceived notions wherein we have been doing spreads 100 point wide, 200 points wide, and we try to do it week over week or month over month. That is something which traders shouldn't do going forward, as the volatility last year, what we have seen the environment relatively, we are in a low wall environment currently, but you have seen in the last week or so that what kind of volatility spikes we could see. And when such volatility spikes come in, a moment like 1 or 2 odd % is nominal during throughout the day. So if the ATM options are pricing something else and the market is moving something else, then you should understand that you need to go probably long, create some long gamma strategies and trade on those. But if the market is not moving, then you should enter short gamma strategies. So if the market you feel is consolidating, is going to stay in a range, then I would advise all the listeners to stick to short gamma strategies. If they feel they are going to see breakouts, like Arjunji said, intraday pe, if you see a breakout, you should do this. So if you see a breakout on intraday or positional time frame, whatever time frame it is, then you should adopt the strategy according to that, rather than sticking to one strategy.
You're right, Tanmay. The VIX currently at just it's 15. It's quite less right
Yes,
now.
so
So
15 has
I
been
think
our long-term average on the index, and we have seen a 15, 16 level getting averaged out over the years. Last year, what we saw was exceptional, but what I believe is this long-term average is going to be there. So whenever we are crossing those long-term averages, so as we are currently, then I would say we are in a relatively high environment, though it is at 17, 17 and a half. uh, all the traders out there are saying that option premiums are less, or you're not getting enough volatility in the market. The premiums are being priced as the market is pricing it. So anything above the long-term average, I would say we are in a high wall. If we go to a levels of again 12 and 13, what we saw 2 months back, then that is an
yes.
environment where you should go for short gamma or uh, short strategies.
Okay. So you think beyond 15 it's high wall, and below 15, because last year it was quite
Yes,
different.
so
Last year the one
what happens is if you
exceptional
look,
30 to
yes,
20
so the uh,
and even 70.
sorry, Santa. So what happens is basically when you cross the long-term average on the volatility curve, what is going to happen is
Okay.
more and more players are going to play for those wall spikes. Volatility, as we know, is sticky in nature. It is going to get back to its mean. But during that period, what happens is these prolonged wall spikes can remain, and we could be in an elevated environment for quite a while. So, having said that, uh, currently, though that 17 number feels like it's relatively low, I've been trading for a decade now, and I would say 17, 18 wall is not cheap. It is not at all cheap, and we are in a highly volatile environment, and that is where most of the traders are going to burn their hands, because As the volatility increases, the chances of you getting right also decreases heavily. So, with wall increase, I would recommend all the listeners to cut down their sizes. SEBI has been doing that as the markets have been rallying. We have seen uh, uh, lower notional contracts getting implemented, but it takes time. So till the time SEBI adjusts that, per position size should remain constant. So if you have a capital of, let's say, 10 lakh rupees, I would recommend traders not to leverage their capital more than two. So having said that, 20 lakhs should be the maximum capital that should be used as a notional exposure while taking any position.
How about you, Arjun? How would you advise people to manage the risk?
Yeah, so basically, like the topic of today's spaces is F&O pe charcha. So, firstly, I would like to say that derivative markets uh, are basically what traders generally think that derivatives markets are the most tough. But personally, what is my view on this is that if you are good at anything and you have well practiced, so no market is tough or no market is easy. It's just the profits or losses that make you say that this market was tough or that market was easy. So basically, what I feel, if you are practicing well, like if we generally not in trading, if you take any field, if you take cricket or you take your studies, anything, if you practice well, you are going to perform well. And if you won't practice well, and then you won't be able to perform, and then you will say that trading is tough or investing is tough or any other field is tough. So basically, what I feel is people should not directly come and risk whole of their capital, just like Tanmay said that. People just come and with over leveraged bets and then they lost their capital lose their capital and then they blame markets that markets took away my money. So basically, it is your mistake that you came into the market and you took over leverage. Matlab, I've saw people risking 50% of their capital in one trade. 50% in one. If two trades goes opposite of your direction, you will blow out your capital. Then you will shout that derivatives market is wrong. I am saying any markets can give you profits and any markets can give you loss, irrespective it is F&O, irrespective of it is cash or any markets. Like if we, but like basically, we were talking about derivative market, but in cash trading also people lose money. People try to buy penny stocks, 8 rupees, 10 rupees with a view that they will go to 100 with full of their capital. People use 80% of their capital to buy those penny stocks. So basically, that should not be the thing. People should understand the risk management. Like if we talk about myself, I usually risk 0.5% of my capital in one trade. Like if I'm trading bank nifty futures, so I'm just risking 0.5% of my capital in one risk. So if anything happens, I'm intraday trader. If anything goes wrong, I will only lose 0.5% of capital, and that is easily recoverable. But if same way I'm risking 10% of my capital and two, three trades goes wrong, I lose 30% of my capital. So firstly, before trading derivatives, one should know what risk you are trying to take, and one should always take those positions where one can easily comfortably sit on the trading table. So basically, how you can sit comfortably is to manage your risk. Everything is in your hand. Even if you are risking 0.5% of capital, I can say no black swan event can blow up your capital. So just the first thing before trading F&O or derivative market or anything, you should be well prepared that I am going to give X amount only today to the markets, and that is the best way to efficiently trade any markets. I'm not saying about derivative. If I'm saying you want to trade cash, you want to trade currency, or you want to trade commodities, so just try to manage risk properly, and everything will happen very, very well and very smooth.
So when you're saying 0.5% of your capital, is it your trading capital or your overall capital?
No, 0.5% of my trading capital. So basically,
Now,
risk reward I follow
yes.
is generally 1:2 and 1:3. So that is 0.5% of my trading. So basically, let me also clarify this that I am not much into investing. I've recently started investing around 1 year back, where I generally make an SIP of 1 lakh per month in a list of stocks. So basically, I generally don't have an investing capital or something like that. So basically, I'm a full-time trader, and I generally do investing with that 1 lakh rupees per month is sufficient for me in the investing. So basically, I'm majority of my money is used in intraday trading.
So, friends, one clarity I think we had today by listening to both Tanmay and Arjun is 0.5% of your trading capital. That clearly means that they have two sets of capital, which is one which goes towards trading, the one which is going towards investing. So they're risking an X amount from their trading capital, and these two should be kept separately, right?
Yeah, perfect.
And also, something which I understood what you said, Arjun, that uh, this is it's more like you're doing it full time, so it's like a business for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, very true.
So the money which you have invested, it's your business investment. It's your investment in your own
Exactly,
business,
exactly.
right? So for the listeners, it's a full time thing which he is doing. Trading is a full time business for him, and he is. So how much returns do you think? I mean, generally people should expect as a beginner, and then after, let's say, a few years of studies, maybe 1 or 2 years of practicing this,
Yeah, so
how much return on
yeah, so this
investment?
is a very good question, and I would definitely love to answer this. So basically, if we talk about the new traders who are entering markets in 2020, 21, their expectations from markets are
Do
too
you?
high. Uh,
It's a new year. It's a new year. People are rethinking about their careers, and many people we have seen in the recent times have actually come in as full time
Very true.
traders.
So basically, people are expecting too much from markets. Like if we see, I generally talk to many people, and many new traders will come to talk to me, or come to spend time with me, or have a conversation with me. So generally, their expectations is that I will enter into the markets, and from the very first month, I'm going to earn a return of 20% on my capital per month. I'm not saying per annum. If let me tell you one thing, my average return from during the last 5 years, my average return is around 40% on my capital per annum. So it is hardly about sometime it is 2% a month, sometime it is 10% a month. So if we talk average of all 12 months, so it is around 40-42% per annum. So I am very happy in that. But opposite way, the new traders who are entering markets right now, the young trader, although I'm also 24, but the young traders, I mean those who are entering right now in the ages of 19-20, they want that they want to earn 40% per month, and that is practically not possible. And for earning that 40%, they are over risking their capitals, and then they are blaming that the markets generally don't because they generally blame everyone that we are not able to trade markets. So basically, the expectations should be that you need to minimize your loss. That is your part. And you follow your rules, you follow your discipline. Whatever market gives you, take. Even if it is 1% per month after your brokerages, even if it is 2% per month in starting, because in initial stage, do not think about making your profits. Just think, I want to save my capital, because trading is not like whether it is only for the next 1 year, and after that trading will be suspended or something like that. This is our business. We have to do this for until I would be trading. Even if I would be living till 75 years, I would be doing trading at that age also. So for basically, my first goal is to protect my capital. So if you are entering markets right now and you are new to markets, so try to preserve your capital, because if your capital would be preserved, you would have enough chances, you would get enough these, like in the COVID crash, and after the COVID crash we seen a vertical rally. So you will have many opportunities like that. But to uh, whether to make sure that these opportunities gives money, capital is required. So the first goal should be capital preservation. So you should generally not think that what percentage I can make while I'm entering the markets. So just try to minimize your loss, try to preserve your capital, follow your rules, whatever markets gives you just take it with open hands and just try to be consistent.
Thank you, Arjun. Tanmay, what's your take on this?
So Arjun said it rightly that trying to be consistent is the key. The greatest investors,
Consistent.
traders around the world, what we have seen, have emerged as victorious because they have stayed consistent in their long-term journey. So being consistent, being consistent on a long-term basis is the hardest thing a trader has to achieve. Having said, what happens is as a trader or an investor, what you are looking for from capital markets is appreciation in your asset or your total portfolio value. Uh, Currently, at today's environment, the debt is giving you around 5% yield, whereas the equity risk premium, if you add, Nifty has been giving 13-14% on a long term basis. So, 13-14% is something an index is giving, which most of the fund managers out there don't beat those returns. So, 15% return is something which almost 90% of the fund managers, renowned fund managers, have not been able to beat on a consistent basis. So, if you can beat the index on a long term basis, that is anything above 15-16%, is a phenomenal return you should be targeting. What should be the strategy? The strategy shouldn't be on the returns per se as much as it should be on the risk. So for every rupee of risk, every rupee of penny you are risking in the market, what is the expected reward is something you should be asking to yourself. So if you are investing in equities and your portfolio crashes by 20% because the market has come down by 20%, uh, is there a possibility that this market can go up by 50% so that I can achieve a 20% reward? That is 1:1 risk reward on my investment is more important than just putting a fixed number in mind. What Arjun said, like a lot of traders coming in the markets are expecting 5%, 10% a month, 20% a month. These are not realistic figures. If you are able to achieve probably 100%, 200% returns year on year on a long term basis, then that is something that only you are doing it. It is not which can be has been done in past by any of the players out there. So that is something you shouldn't target. What you should target is what realistic returns the products are giving in the market. So if an FD or any NCD is giving 10% or any PMS or any mutual fund which has been there in the market for quite a while now and has given a return of 15 to 20%, that is something you need to beat as a fund manager or a trader. If you are able to achieve that on a long term basis, then I think your goal is done. So you need not do anything else. So uh,
That's for investment, Tanmay, but for as a trader,
as a
how much is realistic for you
so as a trader,
on the trading
as a
capital?
trader also it is dependent on the risk what I'm taking. So for as an investor, what happens is a investor who has invested probably a crore rupees in market has seen a fall in his equity portfolio of 20%, 30%, and again the portfolio goes back. Similarly, as a trader, you have an X amount of capital with you. That capital is constant, so you need to grow that capital. But as the drawdowns or as the losses per trade come in, you are going to see that your capital is getting eroded. So if you are risking probably 10% of the capital as a trading capital, then you should expect to make at least 20 to 25% on that. So I would say for every rupee of risk you are taking in trading, you should expect to make at least 2 to 3 rupees on that. So the amount of risk what as traders take. So as Arjun was saying, per trade risk should be 0.5%. So if per trade risk is 0.5%, the return on that trade should at least be 1 to 1.5%. If you are not targeting that as a trader, then I would say at the end it would be very difficult for everyone to make money.
Right. So your trading capital, actually, we can expect that it should be a bit high.
Yes, so trading capital can be anything. It can be your
Like
invest.
returns can be
Yes,
yeah,
returns.
return on
So
investment.
from that trading capital, what you should focus more is the amount of risk I'm taking on that trading capital. I have a 10 lakh trading capital, but am I willing to lose probably 5 lakh rupees out of that? If the answer is yes, then I should make around 10 lakh rupees on that 10 lakh rupees. That is 100% return on my trading capital, because I'm willing to let go 50% of my trading capital as a risk in the markets.
So 2:1 ratio.
Yes, at least 2 is to
2 is to
1
1.
ratio is required.
All right. So thank you for clarifying, Tanmay, Arjun. I think both of you really shared very nice insights today. And I think what I liked most, like many of us from the Diwali, this is the Diwali time season, and from yesterday, many traders actually have taken their Shagunka stocks. They have even traded. Like I have even traded in options yesterday, personally. So we have done all that, but again, consistency is the key. Markets are at all-time high. We should be cautious about taking profits. And one rule I think which works.
Shankha, we lost you, I think.
Yeah,
For
I think we lost Tanka.
asset allocation right now. So maybe relook at asset allocation, and thus by default we may land up booking something for us.
Hmm. Point. Let me summarize, Shankha. So whatever the points Arjun and Tanmay have discussed, I'll take probably 30 seconds, not more than that. So one by one. So market is bullish, but be cautious while you are looking at the bullish, right? Okay. One of our user have asked, what is primary market? So guys, primary market is related to directly IPO. So any company is going to listed whatever trading you are right now, they call it as a secondary market. But before listing, if companies coming for the IPO, initial public offering, they call it as a primary market. So you can go to any YouTube videos or any blogs to read that. Okay. The third point, what we have mentioned, that hedging the position or managing the risk, right? So earlier, most of before 2 years, technically even I was surprised. I'm doing this from last 12 years. I hardly find any article or any videos regarding hedging the position, how to hedge, what is the value of Greeks, how Greeks is important for the hedging. But recently, definitely there are a lot of educational initiatives run by most of brokers, individuals, like most of good traders who are publishing their lot of videos and content. You can also go through that. That is definitely helpful for entire derivative segment. Then there is Arjun mentioned one very important point, that market will give a pullback always before making a new high, and right, and it's true in every era. So when you can start market from anywhere back, right, and you will see that before making any high, market will always correct, right? It is not a straight line, right? So that's exactly what Arjun has mentioned. So whenever there is a downside, there are few traders who take as an opportunity also, but you can wait as well, right? So like Tanmay have a strategy that he mentioned, that open range breakout, right? Sorry, Arjun has mentioned that open range breakout, right? So either you can wait for a open range breakout, or you can take a break, wait for some time, and then start investing or trading whatever you want, right? Uh, then there is a one important point again. Our speaker mentioned that trading is all about minimizing losses, and we are saying that from multiple time in our previous FNOP Charcha as well, right? The more you minimize losses, right, profit will be by default increase, right? So please focus on your risk strategies, how you can minimize. There are ample of ways apart from buying options, selling options. There are other ways to hedge also, right? We'll do sometime later, definitely specific to the hedging, how hedging is important and how we can hedge through options, our equity portfolio and option trading as well, right? Then there is one point Tanmay has mentioned, that don't take much leverage while trading, right? So the more you leverage, the risk will by default increase, right? So don't do that. Over risking due to high return expectation is also very straight problem for all the traders, right? And even we are receiving multiple time are in our known network. People are saying, sir, can we make 5% or 10% in a month? Of course you can, but don't tell me if you lose also, right? But the problem is it's not about 100% profit, right? And since Arjun has mentioned that it's like a business, right? So any big business across the globe, any big businesses, you name it, in any sector, whether it is FMCG, automobile, or any company, right? There is 2 to 3% hardly monthly return, right? It is top notch return, right? So which is clearly around 20-24% in a year, right? And if you are expecting more than that, even top PMS, so Tanmay has mentioned that even top our fund manager across India is not able to beat consistently Nifty, right? So focus on consistency. My one suggestion to all of you, even if you want to check your consistency, start with smaller capital, because in a derivative segment, the best part, you have a multiple ample of options. Start with Nifty and Bank Nifty. Understand, start whatever the logic, whatever the thought process you have. Just learn with the very small capital. uh, Create your strategy. Make those strategy more consistent. Do your due diligence. Do your plus minus whatever you want. Backtest properly and then start trading. Don't put a big amount initially when you start learning, right? Just because someone said that or someone told you that they can make 10-20%, realistically it is almost impossible, right? There might be some people doing that. Don't land in that trap. So that's what the overall summary. Am I missing, Arjun, Tanmay, anything?
No, sir, perfectly summarized.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. One last point. Arjun has mentioned that uh, on a trading capital, and see, guys, this number is running from last 12 years with all the top traders. I can't name it because neither they are available on a YouTube nor they are Twitter. They are simply trading in their cabin and making money. So that 0.5% really, it's one of the most base numbers for all of you. Even whatever trading capital you are going to invest, don't expect, the moment you are looking for a more than 0.5%, you are really making a lot of risk. And Tanmay is managing the Tanmay is well known and he's managing the fund for multiple people, right? In a crores, right? And the why we are talking so much about benchmark, Nifty, and 0.5%. When you see a number, you might think that it's a very small number as a return, right? But you actually, whenever you consistent with the 0.5%, it is really amazing number. You can't even imagine how big number it is, right? Fact. So that's the only request, guys. Don't take it much expectation, and especially for those people who just say that, okay, I have made 3x and 4x just for trading in XYZ stocks. It might be, right. It might be possible they can make, but that is not a consistency, right? And market is not about luck and gamble, right? It is all about study. It's all about learning. It's all about focus. Whatever the data available in the market, and do your due diligence before trading. Yeah. Anything, Asanka, you want to add?
No, I think what you covered everything absolutely correctly. Alok, that was a very nice summary.
Okay.
Really appreciate.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot, Tanmay and Arjun. Big thanks to you guys. It's always it's always tough for us to select a speaker who actually trade, and we are really very happy to whatever the speaker till now in our FNOP Chacha, they are actually trading a well known trading, and every time we come up with a lot of insights for the users. And let me tell you, upfront, and we have a lot of traction just because this FNOP Chacha and because of you guys. So thanks a lot, Tanmay and Arjun, for this time.
Thank
Thanks,
you so much,
Alok.
sir.
Thank you, Paytm, for this opportunity, for allowing us to have our views in front. So thanks,
Our
Alok,
pleasure, sir.
once again. Thanks, Paytm Money, and thanks everyone. Wishing everyone a very happy Diwali once again. Be safe, be careful in trading, have stop losses in place, don't lever your positions, and don't venture into derivatives with full go. Start slowly, start steadily, and try to be consistent. So that's it from my side. It was a pleasure talking to Arjun also and Santha also. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much, guys.
same way. Thank you so much, Paytm Money, and thank you so much, whole team of Paytm. And Tanmay bhai, it was an absolute honor to have a co-speaker like you. So
No, no, our pleasure, guys.
The
Our pleasure.
pleasure is mine.
Yeah.
So same here, Arjun bhai. It was good talking to you. Hope to connect to you too.
sure, sure.
Yeah. So to all our listeners, just one message before we are ending the session. If you guys have any query related to whatever we have discussed today, any questions which we can ask directly to Arjun Bhai or Tanmay, please post us. We'll try to address and we'll definitely provide all your questions. We'll try to answer all your questions, whatever you are going to ask. So please post us if you guys have any gap, any question open, right? Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Tanmay, for accepting to speak today to all our speakers on such a auspicious day of the right after Diwali, the first day of our new year. And thank you, Alok, and every speaker here today, along with the audience. Without you, the FNOP Charcha would have not been a success. And happy Diwali to all of you. Be